Welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, March 29th, 2021, and this is my astrological outlook for the day. I hope everyone had a beautiful full moon yesterday filled with releasing trauma and healing through love and light. And let's talk about the energy for this week that we have as we move through the next 2 weeks of the full moon phase to our new moon in Aries on April 11th. So today we have the sun at 10 degrees Aries, discharging the energetic of a teacher gives new symbolic forms to traditional images. We have the earth at 10 Libra. This degree is having passed safely through narrow rapids, a canoe reaches calm waters. So those are the energetics in effect today being discharged by the positions of the sun and the earth. To me, these energetics today are indicating that with the full moon yesterday, we successfully completed the challenge of courageously facing our wounding and clearing trauma through forgiveness, replacing the pain and negative feelings with the love and the light of Venus and the sun. And although it was, and that whole process generally is risky, and it makes us feel like we're taking a risk by doing this, we made it through to calm, peaceful, balanced waters. And that's being indicated by the degree of the earth today. And we successfully mastered our own internal rapids and made it through to, like I said, calm, peaceful, balanced waters. And water represents emotions, and the moon and the Libra full moon that we had yesterday. So I feel like these energetics today are saying that as a reward, our life force can now step into the new and elevated consciousness, ideology, and perspective necessary to evolve into the new world that we are in the process of co-creating with that newly reconfigured human consciousness that we have been being pushed towards throughout all of the energetics over this past year, the past 5 years specifically, and definitely with the new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Libra that we just experienced. So that's what I want to say about the degrees of the Sabians today. I just think that it's interesting, the full moon could have really been anywhere within range, of Libra and Aries, wherever it occurred. And I just find it, interesting that it would be at that specific degree where the following degrees speak so clearly about making it through a challenging situation to calm waters, peace, Libra, waters, emotions, the moon, and the sun, a teacher gives new symbolic form to traditional images. That is, like I said, it's like as a reward, our life force can now step into the new and evolved level of consciousness, ideology, and perspective, the new symbolic images. So moving on today, I need some water. Moving on today, we pay special attention to Mercury, who is 1 degree off conjunction with Neptune in Pisces. This is also a very interesting energetic to have going on right now. 1 degree off conjunction with Pisces, and at the degree where Neptune was with Venus for the new moon in Pisces. If you remember, this degree is a little white lamb, a child, and a Chinese servant. That's where Mercury is today. So this has been a very active degree over the past month, especially because that is where the Venus-Neptune conjunction was for the new moon in Pisces, which we're still in that cycle. We're closing it out now that we've had the full moon in Aries. So this is an important conjunction that will activate a lot of information to be leaked and exposed in relation to things that have been withheld, covered, shrouded, foggy and clouded publicly generally. Neptune, Pisces. Mars and the North Node are in Gemini right now, demanding truth and transparency and an influx of new ideas, thoughts, and communications to break up dogmatic belief systems no longer in alignment with divine truth. That is with the North Node, South Node polarities right now in Gemini, Sagittarius, and Mars in there, that is really where collectively our destinies are trying to take us, is out of dogmatic belief systems that have kept us in karmic loops and into embracing new information, new perspectives, new ways of looking at things, and formulating basically a new basis for our consciousness. So, let's see, I wrote Mars and the North Node are in Gemini right now, demanding truth and transparency, like I said, in an influx of new ideas, thoughts, and communications to break up dogmatic belief systems no longer in alignment with divine truth. Mercury rules Gemini, and Mars and the North Node are working towards Mercury's purpose because of their location in Gemini currently. And Mercury is the messenger, and Mercury is in Pisces with Neptune, the great illusionist, with the purpose of, and it's energized and it's powerful. It's got a power boost from Mars and also the like magnetic pull of the North Node, urging information to be made clear during this time. So we should see that over the coming days and weeks. And like I said, we're 1 degree out right now. Mercury is at the degree where Neptune and Venus were for the new moon. Tomorrow, Mercury will move into exact conjunction with Neptune and start a new Mercury-Neptune cycle. And so the energy is building right now. Once we get to tomorrow, I expect things, and especially considering we just had the full moon, I'm definitely expecting information to start coming out in big ways tomorrow moving forward. So we'll see what happens. Okay, next, the North Node and South Node have moved to 13 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius. They changed signs yesterday, actually, with the full moon, I believe. Yes, they were changing signs yesterday as the full moon was going on. And now we are at the degrees for the North and the South nodes, destiny and karma, of a famous pianist. The North Node is at 13 Gemini, a famous pianist giving a concert performance. And the South Node is at 13 Sagittarius. A widow's past is brought to light. Hold on just a second. Someone might be coming to my house. I have to check and see. Nope. All good. Okay. So, a widow's past is brought to light. So I wrote, they're now, and also because they move, the North Node and the South Node actually move backwards through the zodiac. So each time they move a degree, it will be to a less degree in that particular sign because they move backwards, like the precession of the equinox move backwards. Like we're moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius because it moves backwards. And all the other planets move forwards. So we had Saturn change from 11 to 12 Aquarius, and we had the nodes change from 14 to 13 Aquarius, or Gemini. So now we have a tightened trine between the North Node and Saturn to a 1 degree orb, making it stronger. So Saturn structures and stabilizes and perfects things with like exhausting diligence and duty and obligation and commitment and what's it called when you like self determination and stuff like that. And Saturn structures it with an exhausting effort and time and detail. Like Saturn makes things amazing through extreme amounts of effort. The nature of our and with it in aspect in the trines are a positive aspect that help things to happen, that make it easier for things to happen, that facilitates energy, that it works together. With Saturn and the North Node are destiny forming this trine, and as it grows closer, and air signs, which again, air is about ideas, and Aquarius, Gemini, that's like getting information about like the future and cutting edge information and what's to come and what's good for everyone, stuff like that. Just new information, new perspective, but like very futuristic and very like human oriented, things that help the general cause of like all stuff like that. So the nature of our destiny is now being refined and polished and perfected and stabilized, all things that Saturn does for long-term endurance and reliability and stability. Oh, self-discipline. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. Self-discipline is a lot to do with Saturn. So long-term endurance and reliability and stability while we release our past selves and lives. The nodes. 13 Gemini, 13 Sag, in trine to Saturn at 12, well, trine and sextile to Saturn at 12 Aquarius. So Saturn is helping us stabilize, structure, perfect, be self-disciplined, self-motivated in our pursuit of building our new path, our new future that we are being pulled towards through the North Node as we release, let go, and open up to receiving all of the influx of new ideas that are more reality based in terms of actually moving forward into a successful future and stuff like that. So we have that going on. That's also like, I feel like that's also technological advances and like that type of thing as well, because Saturn's in Aquarius, so that can be like a lot of, and after the trine with Mars, like a lot of building of like futuristic like technology and stuff coming under this energetic and with the trine to the North Node. So that's interesting also. Next I want to say Venus, one of our other big planets right now, freshly off her 3-day full moon conjunction with the sun, has moved to 11 Aries and is now forming sextiles to both Saturn at 12 Aquarius and the North Node at 13 Gemini. She's kind of like right in the middle there. 2 signs from Saturn, 2 signs from Gemini. So because of her position and her strength right now, coming off of her conjunction with the sun for the full moon, I think that this means we have an infusion of Venetian energy into the Saturn North Node trine over the next few days while she's within range of this, adding a newly energized and invigorated and powerful creative potential for active peace, beauty, and abundance to be infused into the forms that Saturn is helping our futures to take right now. So Venus is really bringing a lot of beauty to the creations that are being formed if we were able to do what we were asked over the full moon and truly release any trauma we still hold within ourselves and replace it with the Venus and the Sun qualities of beauty, love, light, forgiveness, compassion, joy, optimism, and just energized heart energy, Venus and the Sun. In Aries, Mars energy. So if, depending on how we're doing in this whole process, Venus right now can really add a lot of beauty and abundance to the new forms that are being built, stabilized, structured, refined by Saturn and the North Node as we release and transform and transition into the new world. Saturn also rules karma. So how well we have done in clearing our karma